Hi everyone, today we're going to be making an egg bake for brunch. So I'm going to show you some of the products that I'll be using today first, and then we'll get started. This is the classic batter bowl, and it's really handy for anything and everything. It has a pour spout and a handle, it's microwavable, it does a lot, which is great. I have the mix and chop, which is one of the highest selling tools that Pampered Chef has, and it's really great for chopping up like ground meat when you're making things, but also for scrambling eggs, which we're gonna do. I have the prep mats, which are really great because they're not something that takes up a lot of space on your counter. You can just kind of move stuff on and off of it, and they come in a set of 3. And then we have our paring knife, which is just a knife, but it's really sharp. And this is probably my favorite tool of Pampered Chefs that I have right now. It is the manual food processor, or the MFP, and it's really great because I chop up baby food in it for my toddler because he doesn't really eat much else. And if I chop it up really small, there's no cleanup except for this thing, and it goes in the dishwasher, which is great. So to start our egg bake, I'm going to crack 6 eggs in a bowl, in this bowl. So we'll start with that. All right, so we have our 6 eggs in a bowl, and I'm just gonna mix them a little bit before we add our other stuff. Okay, we'll set that aside, and I'm going to cut up a red bell pepper. You can use whatever pepper you have, but I like red. Scoop all that out. And I'm just gonna break it into a few smaller pieces to put in the food processor. And you would think that a manual food processor kind of defeats the purpose of a food processor, but it's really nice because the blade and the bowl can go in the dishwasher, and you don't have to try to like assemble a base and find the right blade and plug it in and all that. It's just really nice to do that. So actually I didn't need to do it that small, but I did. So we'll just chop that up, put it in the food processor. And process. Scrape that into our bowl. And dump that in. And since it's all getting baked, it doesn't need to be like perfect pieces, which is why the processor is nice. Do that. And then I'm also going to chop up some kale. I buy it pre-chopped, but it's not quite small enough for the egg bake, so I'm just gonna chop a little bit more. And that way it's just a little bit finer and easier to eat after it's cooked. All right, so we'll mix that up again. It's very festive with red and green. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I like a lot of pepper. And some garlic powder. Maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon or so. Mix that. And then the last thing I'm going to add is a little bit of crumbled feta. You can use whatever cheese you have or whatever cheese you want. I like feta because it gets really creamy in the oven. I've used goat cheese before, I've used cheddar, whatever you feel like. Just crumble a little bit of that in. And it gets so melty and creamy in the oven. Delightful. So I'll just give that one more mix. And then I'll show you the pan I'm gonna use. This is the lovely 12-inch cast iron skillet from Pampered Chef, and I just got this yesterday, I think. And it's the perfect size. I don't usually cook a ton of food, but it's really nice for a big like egg bake. I'm doing a small one, but yeah, it cooks a lot of food if you have a big family and need to do a lot of like stir frying on the stove. This is really nice. And it's really easy to clean up after. Cast iron intimidates a lot of people, but this one comes pre-seasoned and it gives you instructions when it comes on exactly how to care for it. And it's really easy, so I hope you'll try it. I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of avocado oil. And this is the kitchen spritzer from Pampered Chef, so you can use whatever oil you want. You just put it right in. I'll spritz it, and then I'll add my egg bake, or eggs. And then I'm just gonna bake it for probably 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll see what happens when it's done. So as I was putting it in the oven, I realized it was gonna be a sad little egg bake, so I ended up adding 5 more eggs and baked it for about 10 more minutes. So it ended up being 11 eggs and about 20 minutes of baking, but it turned out really nicely. So, and it's nice that you could just add some egg if it needs a little help. So this baked for about 20 minutes, and I'm just gonna slice it. And I really like sriracha and some sour cream or plain yogurt on it, so that's what I'm gonna serve it with. But you could like serve this with bacon or sausage. You could even put like bacon and sausage in it if you wanna have like a meat in there. You can use mushrooms, you can use asparagus, you can use whatever veggies you want. Maybe I should have used a pizza cutter, it's okay. And it comes out perfectly. So there it is, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of, I have plain yogurt, but you can use sour cream if you want. So I'll do a little bit of sour cream. I'll do like a Christmas tree, like a little garland of yogurt. You don't have to do this, I'm just being particular. And then a little sriracha. Decorations. So cute. And you could even, once this cools more, you could even cut it out with cookie cutters if you're doing like a kids brunch or something. Make it a fun Christmas morning thing, or anytime of year. But anyway, here's our egg bake. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you try to make it.